My name is Matt Parker. I am a stand-up mathematician, and this year we had the confirmation that Thomas Hales's proof of the Kepler conjecture was in fact correct. And he actually did that in 2005, and so it's taken pretty much a decade just to double check his proof was correct. The Kepler conjecture is that if you've got spheres and you want to stack them, then the most efficient way is the boring way, the way that greengrocers do. You do a layer of spheres and, let's say, oranges, and then you put ones in the gaps, and then you repeat that all the way up. And in 1611, Kepler conjectured that was the most efficient way to fill 3D space with spheres. And it seemed likely, but no one could prove it. And the trouble is, mathematicians don't know much about how to fill space. Arranging spheres or circles is incredibly difficult. So to this day, no one knows the most efficient way to put 31 circles into a square. So if you draw a square and you can find a better way to fit 31 circles into it, then mathematical fame and fortune are yours. For a very narrow definition of fame and fortune. And in 3D, up until this year, we didn't know what was the most efficient way to pack spheres. We now know the way that Thomas Hales, the mathematician, did it was he split it into subcases, and then he wrote a computer program. In fact, he wrote a number of computer programs to go through and check all the different possible combinations of all these different cases. In fact, he had to write an extra computer program to keep track of all the other computer programs and what they were doing. And when he submitted this to other mathematicians to peer review it, they looked at it and went, we can't check it. I mean, the proof alone was 250 pages plus several gigabytes of code that did the rest of it. No one human could check it. And so Thomas went, fine, I'll write another computer program to check everything that this computer program did. He started something called the Fly-Spec program. Fly-Spec is a strange name, and what happened is you could log in, you could join in, and it was a distributed computing effort to double check the computers that had checked the original proof that Thomas Hale did. And I'd put this in my book. I wrote a fantastic book called Things to Make and Do in the Fourth Dimension, and right before it went to print, summer this year, 2014, he finished it. They managed to finally prove that his proof was correct. And so I had to phone up my publisher. And on page 128, I've got a little bit where I had to point out, right before it went to print, what I've written in the book is now technically wrong. And that's what I like about mathematics. People think it's all set in stone and it's all, you know, it's not changing, but it constantly is. The moment I finished writing this book, maths progressed, and what I wrote was technically incorrect.